I'm meteorologist Monica Woods with a look at our Northern California forecast. One of a big destination spots is going to be Lake Tahoe, looking spectacular as we get going on our Thursday. We have a thunderstorm risk mainly east of the crest for today and through the northern Sierra. This has been kind of migrating its way eastward day by day around a low pressure system that's been bringing the active weather. Now, with that risk of thunderstorms, we also bring in a red flag warning, again, mainly east of the crest, but also through parts of the central Sierra. Wind gusts up to 35 miles per hour, low humidity, and the potential for fast fire spread. You can see the significant fire potential throughout Northern California, largely because of high wind and lightning in the high country. As we move through the valley, moderately dry will elevate the risk of fire, but we also have some gusty winds through parts of the Delta and the East Bay communities. Wind alert in effect for the Tahoe Basin. That includes Lake Tahoe with a wind advisory, wind gusts up to 30 miles per hour on the lake, 1 to 2 feet for our waves, with small watercraft that are going to be vulnerable to capsizing. Our soil moisture continues to dry out, just something to be aware of. Even though our temperatures are cooling, it's still going to give a risk for some grass fires in the valley as well. Fuel dryness is starting to edge towards those large fires likely. We get a little relief from the heat, but we're going to start to see that build where deeper into the season we start to see that peak into a higher risk of those fires burning. A look around the region on our Thursday. Again, heading into the holiday weekend, Amador County, Placer County, Walnut Grove near the Delta. We've got some high clouds out there in Mount Tamalpais, a great place to hike towards the Bay Area. Started off with some fog, now looking at some clearing during the afternoon. And that's how things are pretty much going to play out for the next couple of days. Temperatures today already cooling into the 90s throughout the valley, 80s and 90s in the foothills, and we'll still top out in the 70s for the high country. A look at our holiday weekend forecast for the Bay Area. Gusty winds on Friday, a mix of sun and clouds over the weekend, highs in the 60s. We're in the 80s to near 90 for the valley with sunny skies. In the foothills, we'll stay in the 80s with sunshine. And again, for the Sierra, most of those thunderstorms starting to clear out of the forecast with highs in the 70s, but those morning lows are in the 30s and lower 40s. So a great looking forecast. Unseasonably cool weather will continue. That being said, we still have the impacts of our air quality, given that we're in a valley. When we are around those big fireworks displays, all of that PM 2.5, the smoke just hangs in. So very unhealthy air developing at about 10:30 until 11 o'clock at night. We'll see that scour out, though, have a nice little onshore flow going, and that certainly contributing to the cooler weather ahead. Highs in the 70s for the Sierra today, with 80s and 90s throughout the foothills. As we make our way southward here towards Yosemite, we're in the 80s for today. Lower elevations, though, still in the 90s to near 100. Central Coast, lots of low clouds and fog to start us off. Clearing inland, highs are in the 100s for the San Joaquin Valley. Bay Area forecast, we're in the 60s with 80s inland, and moving our way along the northwest coast, we've got a lot of low clouds and fog. 58 for Fort Bragg. Move inland, we're in the 90s, and again, that risk of thunderstorms for the northern Sierra. Our Central Valley forecast still looking at 90s for today. That Delta influence will certainly bring down the temperatures right along I-80 as we move farther from that. The temperature is warm, but overall much improved from what we've been seeing. A look at our 3-day forecast. Highs are going to cool into the 80s for our Friday. We're still going to keep it on the seasonable side for the holiday weekend, near 90. Expanding that into the next 10 days, though, we've got highs moving back towards 100 by the middle and end of next week.